I think we all understand and know that goblins are real. I think we've determined that this is the case. Goblins are real, they live amongst us. This much is obvious. It was this story here. Police officers desert station citing goblin attacks, and this was published at the end of May, so it does prepare you against goblin attack.
You will soon regret knowing the goblins you did rouse.
Described being harassed, bodies being violated, doors opened on their own, and things climbing on the roof, making it impossible to sleep.
They don't mess around. They don't mess around.
And this is obviously a cause for concern. And this is just scratching the surface of the goblin problem.
Pull that goblin tail and trouble will be found.
Nearly with goblins, right? No one wants to put up with this. This is a terrible and grave indiscretion.
They don't mess around. They don't mess around.
He had been stabbed in the leg with a knife. Okay, that's pretty serious. These goblins.
They don't mess around.
Well, all of these barbershops opening in Britain is making me start to worry about, the introduction of goblins into our...
Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it.
Africans are being terrorised, having stuff stolen,
head shaved, being stabbed.
and sexually assaulted by goblins.
Yes.
Everybody knows that I've got goblins in my house. You will soon regret it knowing the goblins you did rouse.
Go to school.
That's not an African fleshlight, is it?
There's a lot of tooth there for that. That would be very dangerous to use. But it's not the only school. So this was, I believe, 2022. There was also one in June of 2022 as well. And there's a different picture of some goblin memorabilia.
They don't mess around.
Obviously,
This is not an isolated incident.
They don't mess around.
physical people doing crimes. It's goblins, which are magical in nature and therefore harder to...
and able to burrow away during the day.
Exactly. So they carry on to say, this family, we sought help from different prophets and churches, but the situation only worsened with each attempt. Doors and windows would come open and inexplicably our children's clothes, especially their uniforms, their school uniforms I presume, would be torn. They were no longer able to attend school, so these goblins are preventing their children from being educated. They must be racist or something. We hired a spiritual healer for a cleansing ceremony. The following day the house mysteriously burnt down. But only the bedrooms were affected. Everything in the kitchen and dining room was untouched, which is interesting. So the goblins, at least a little bit benevolent, don't want to ruin their kitchen and dining room, but just the bedrooms. So, furthering their war on education, they've terrorised schools, and I like this picture here. Presumably this is something left behind by a goblin, like a talisman. It looks like some buck teeth that's really hairy with a sort of beaded chain, I suppose.
It looks like a
for
goat
listeners.
that's walked into a fan.
It does, yes.